Hey guys, good morning. So this morning, I've got a special show for you. It's about the one I missed. But before we get into it, I want to tell you a little story and the case for uranium. I've got a ticker back there on the board that I bought about 3 days ago, but I missed it in the beginning. And I wasn't going to buy anything, but I started talking at the 121 mining event the other day, and there was a guy there that was a Navy captain. He wasn't anybody I interviewed or anything like that, but he was just telling me his story about being a Navy captain and how his battleship, humongous, solid steel battleship, was powered by a piece of uranium that was about that big around and 30 inches tall. I thought that was cool, great. For 14 years. And that kind of blew my mind. I thought, wow, if we are going to have clean energy, that's it. There's no way I see around it. Coal's unloved for sure. Natural gas are doing everything they can to not burn that. I can't think of any reliable energy. We have plenty of unreliable energy, like solar panels. Yes, when it's cloudy or there's an inch of snow on them or ice or anything like that, they don't work, period. What about windmills? Those bird-killing windmills killed more eagles than anything on the earth. And they're subsidized by the government. I got a good buddy of mine that rebuilds them, and the numbers do not work. It's just facts. Facts hurt you, greenies. So if you're going to have green energy, it is going to be uranium, for now anyway. So the one I missed, when I got into my gold miners, took a heavy position in gold junior miners, I wanted to take a position in uranium. And I was kind of mulling on it, and I pretty much talked out of it, but it's my fault. You've got to make your own decisions. I took the gold and silver route because I thought it might pop first. Well, I was wrong. Uranium popped first, but it didn't pop crazy. It looked like it took the first leg up. I would have liked to gotten that leg, but I'm going to go ahead and take a small position. So I took this position about 3 or 4 days ago, and they have reached out to me to talk about them. And I think it's worth noting that me and several other guys got into it, small position. I want to let you know that up front because I think there's a good chance these guys might go up. First, I'm going to talk about a few reasons, and this is off their website. I'm going to put their website in the description. But there's a few reasons that just really stand out. With the U.S. relying on Russian, Kazakhstan, and Uzbekistan for around 46% of its nuclear power needs in 2020, the prospect of Russia curbing its uranium exports to America is unsettling, just like anything else is going on over there. The threat of uranium supply crunch beyond what's already a global deficit has added fuel to the already powerful rally in both the uranium price and the price of companies that mine it. Going forward, there will be a changing for nations to circumvent Russia in sourcing and processing uranium. Russian uranium enrichments accounts for around 35% of the global market. Moreover, the only commercial uranium conversion plants outside of Russia operate in France and Canada. Speaking of Canada, UROY, right back there on the board, is in Canada. It's a royalty outfit, okay? I want to say they've got 14 or 16 different uranium companies under them. And royalty companies are the safer, they're more diversified. Instead of just buying one junior miner, they've got several of them, and they usually pay out consistently. From what I've learned, this is my first goat roping in uranium, but I'm really excited because I know the narrative, and I know we're going to be green no matter what. So in order to push this home and let you get a better look at the company, I'm going to roll some footage of the director, Scott Melby. He's the president, the CEO, and director. And I'm going to throw a little clip up here of Amir. He's been a part of several mining companies that have done well, and this is one of them. So let's hear from Scott, and leave me something in the comments about what you think about uranium. Let's go.
What have they brought to the uranium market? They've launched a company which is a physical uranium trust. So they basically buy uranium, warehouse it on behalf of investors who can trade in and out of it. Outlook for uranium. But what they did was launched with a $300 million ATM, or at the market financing, which was subsequently raised to $1.3 billion. And they've been buying uranium. They've been buying all the uranium that isn't nailed down in the last 6 weeks. It's, I think, totaled about 11 million pounds in over this period. So I think investors are looking at that and going, geez, if it only took 11 million pounds of purchasing to move the uranium price from $30 6 weeks ago to $50 last week, this is a market that there's a wonderful investment narrative around it. So again, I think it's a great opportunity. Now, uranium price has fallen back down below 40 this week, but it's really on light trading volume. So it also is a good opportunity to step in the immediate term to be able to pick up uranium equities like Uranium Royalty because of this sort of temporary pullback. But the longer term fundamentals are clearly higher. It's not unreasonable to think the prices hit $50, $60, or $70 a pound in the coming year. So Uranium Royalty Corp is the company that I'm the CEO of, which is not a uranium mining company per se, but we own interests in a basket or a portfolio of uranium mining companies. And we hold those interests through royalties or streams. And a royalty is just simply a financial right to a portion of the financial revenues from a mine or a if that mine develops, then we get a percentage, it could be 1%, 2% of the revenue from that mine. It's usually earned by giving development dollars and capital upfront to help bring the mine into production. A stream is similar in that we provide upfront capital financing and we get a stream of the physical product that we can then sell into the market. So when you're buying a share of UROY, which is traded on the NASDAQ, I think we're the only pure uranium company traded on the NASDAQ, you are buying into a portfolio of 16 mining operations and developments around the world in the United States, Canada, Namibia. We also, because of where we are in the commodity cycle, we've also given our early investors exposure to uranium near the bottom of the cycle. We acquired a significant interest in a company out of London called Yellowcake PLC. They're the European equivalent to Sprott Physical Uranium Trust. But we bought that. Why? Because at the time, uranium prices were very low, and it basically gave exposure to our investors uranium at about $19 a pound, and we're now, 37 today. We're also buying physical uranium and have been at an average cost of around $33 a pound. So we're basically building exposure for investors to be able to play this nuclear energy uranium investment without having to do all the due diligence into, for many people, it's very hard to understand the geology and the mining engineering required to invest in a single mining company. And that would be true in gold, silver, uranium, or any other commodity. So we do that work for you. We have the experts. We're all 30, 40-year veterans in the uranium industry. So we've gone and done the due diligence to select the companies to go into that portfolio. So UROY is a very interesting name. We only launched publicly less than 2 years ago. So it's a very new, young company, launched in Canada on the TSX, listed on the NASDAQ earlier this year. Really, obviously, is usually the case, being able to tap into the US investment market. We're now trading upwards of 1 million shares a day. And I believe we're in the top 5 best performing uranium equities in the world year to date. But still, I think we're only in the first or second inning of this uranium recovery, because even at uranium prices, $30, $40 a pound, we're well below what's needed to stimulate the new mine production that's going to be needed to meet all the needs of these nuclear power plants, whether they're the small modular or the large reactors being built around the world. The uranium narrative couldn't be more exciting right now, and the timing is excellent because you're also tapping into that mega trend towards clean energy and green energy. And we've also seen ESG investing and funds beginning to invest in uranium companies like Uranium Royalty because of its green energy.
So if I was to summarize what you said, I think that for the average viewer, they might not fully appreciate everything you said. So I think that what we're hearing is that we can invest in one company and get exposure to many others. You guys were able to buy assets when they were roughly half of the current price, which means that's part of the reason why you're seeing the appreciation in your stock price.
Yeah.
It's also been kind of de-risked because you guys don't actually operate the mine. Some of the best companies in the mining world, including Wheat and Precious Metals, all they do is they're a bank. They give companies money and they wait, they just go cash checks. I love that business model.
Yeah.
And
well, I'm glad you
that's really
because it's Wheat and Precious Metals, it's Franco-Nevada, Royal Gold, these royalty companies in base and precious metals that are the companies and the industry that we're modeled after. We just happen to be the first and only player in the uranium space. So that's a wonderful reference to Wheaton.
I've been tracking the space for a very long time, and like I very much understand the story. So I just think that people have to kind of put their differences aside and understand that, again, if the most powerful people in the world, including billionaires, are all saying that I'm investing in this, they're voting with their dollars. And if people are looking for an investment, again, UROY on the NASDAQ might be something you want to keep on your watch list.